Okay. Thank you guys for coming. I think the hardest part is coming here, and I believe that we all tech people. We are very passionate, and I used to work in oil and gas for 4 years, and I thought that oil and gas people are the most passionate because they like to talk about project. Hey, during lunch they talk about this project. During coffee they talk about that project. Go win this project, Petronas or what. But when I joined tech industry 10 years ago, I found out that tech people are more passionate because, after work, we still mingle, we go to tech meetup, and right now, even during the weekend, you guys come here, so I appreciate it very much. So let me share, and hopefully this session will be the most ROI for your career, hopefully. And yeah, so let's go to the next slide, check. Okay, so my own business, what I mean by this is, I realize that as a passionate people, like animator or game industry, people sometimes take advantage of our business because we take it too personal. We think our job is our identity. So in a way, what I wanted to do is we should treat our career or personal growth like a business, and that's how we will improve it even better. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay. So just to recap, my name is Hisham Mohamad. On LinkedIn, you can find me Hisham Mohamad. But I just use Hisham Kato because I realized there's a lot of Hisham. So a bit, just try to differentiate. So Hisham Hadi over there. I'm Hisham Softy. So Kato, I just Kato because when I joined Twitter, Catkill has killed Catkill is the one that inspired me to do a lot of sharing. So I just feel like I want to be a cat a bit. So I've been working for 15 years for 6 companies, and so you can see average is around 2.5 years per company. And started as a project manager for oil and gas, and I pivoted to project management the last 10 years. If people, you guys know what product manager is? Okay, so I guess it's like that. For me, after 10 years, I feel like I really understood what it means. For that, it's building the product in the right way. For product manager, it's building the right product. Yeah, so we decide what should be built in what sequence. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, so this is... it's okay. It should be okay. Let's go. So this is basically what I want to share. Not just the numbers, but actually what I learned along the way. And I will share it in sequence, so we know you guys can get the benefit of and apply to your job. And early in my career, my mentor actually teach me in oil and gas, your salary should be same amount as the years you're working. So you can see 10 years, almost 10K, so that's about right, but slightly above the market. Then I'll explain later why I actually now becoming zero. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So yeah, if you realize in what do you call it? Job searching, there's a lot of funnel. So when you see the graph, that is the result, right? But the funnel is just to share. Early this year, I applied for 70 jobs in LinkedIn, and I get interviewed with 10 companies, and the outcome is only one operator. Yeah, so that's the ratio, 70, 10, 1 for me. So usually when I do coaching, usually I charge 500 ringgit for three hours. The first hour, actually I teach them, so this is, I give you for free. The first one is, do you get an interview call? I think if not, then that means your CV or your LinkedIn profile sucks. Sorry. Second, so I would help the client to improve the CV and the LinkedIn. Hopefully you get interview. I think, and if you get only first round of interview, that means your CV is good, your LinkedIn is good, but your first impression sucks. Meaning that the interview will be feel like you're nervous or you're giving them a little bit tough. So you need more practice. And the last one is this one. Today talk is about the interview tips and salary negotiation, which is the last step. So hopefully we do that better. Yeah, so let's go to the next one. So this is, I track the increment when I stay with the same company. So this is with Samsung actually. In Korea, HQ Samsung Engineering. So quite a lot. 7K to 10K within 2 years. This is with 11th Street. I don't know, technique. And the rest you can see that for company it's a business decision, right? Because you already with us, so that doesn't make business sense to pay you more unless there is a market rate that offer better, then we will match with you. So let's move on to the next one. And this is the slide that I guess you are interested. You can see this is the why. This is the why. No. Okay. I think this is the why I want to encourage you guys, all of us, to negotiate, because only 60% people, no, 60% people don't negotiate, so more than half of you just take what's given, so that's a loss. The second one is 1K, for example, with each job. For a company, it's negligible because there's more other costs for each employee, but for us, it's what do you call it? It's exponential. You can see here I bought a house, so it's quite deep. But I'll share with you the journey, and hopefully that you can apply this. So we'll move on to the first one. Okay. So yeah. So the format I'll share with you. Each company I'll just share one question, the first one. Q question. A was actually mean, and R is the result. So for Samsung, straight away after university, when they called me for interview, I prepared for 5 full days. I researched all the news, all the company website, and this, I believe, is the time where you can impress the panel. So because they will ask, yeah, after the interview, hey, do you have any question, right? Usually people just ask that because they want to have time to fill the score for your interview. But for me, this is the time where you want to make a good impression. So what I did is I asked them, hey, I saw your website. You keep saying that you want to be the first company for EPC in the world. All again and again. But when I checked, actually right now you're number 3 or number 4 in the world. So and then I checked your employee number for all these companies. Most of them have 10, 20K employee. You only have 5K, right? So are you going to employ more people, or how do you scale to be the number 1? And I noticed that the panel just stopped and take me more seriously, and end up I got the job. So I think this is quite underrated because most people say that I don't have anything to ask. So take this chance to make a good first impression. So this is the first job. It's in Korea, so I think it's not fair. It's not really 7,500, but yeah, it is what it is. So let's move on to the next one. So this is when, after Samsung, come back to Malaysia, work for Techtamu, oil and gas. I skipped that because get a pay cut. So this is from oil and gas when I jumped to e-commerce. So this is the first time I become a product manager. So in the final interview with the COO, he asked me that you have 0 experience in product management. Why should I hire you? So I was thinking, how do I answer this? And what I did is I just say that, I stay in Korea for 8 years. I use a lot of Korean digital product. And when I come back to Malaysia, I always feel the frustration. And so I understand your potential customer because I've been through that journey. So whenever we are building new product, I hope that I can make it easy for the Malaysian people to understand and use. So this is what I get, which is from 5,500 jump to 7,300. So the lesson here is you have to reframe the question. You have to make sure that, hey, this is how my uniqueness can help the company. So any questions so far, maybe? By the way, shout out to Faizal Ikram. I think we worked together since 10 years ago. So thanks for supporting. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. Yeah. So this is the third one. ABSS is a cloud accounting software. And yeah, so the question is, it's not, I mean, the CEO does not really ask me about this, but I can feel like this is the question I have to overcome. How does this guy with zero accounting knowledge can help us? So I think the actual what he meant is how this guy can can run things without having someone to babysit him. So this is the outcome, but I'll share you after this the thing that I do, which is a bit of homework that I get 27% raise. Okay. Let's go to the next one. So this is what I did. Probably for depending on other role might be different, but for me as product manager, this is what I like to do. So I guess for if you are a developer, probably you can write code or you can code or showcase your skill, how you're going to help them. So what I did is I always start with, hey, this is your current weakness, and this is my suggestion. And this is all GIF, so it's moving, so it's quite impressive. And I also share the reasoning why I'm doing this. So this is actually called briefcase technique, where you will whip it out in the middle of the interview, sometimes even if not requested. But most important is you don't give it to them, meaning that before PKP, what I did is I always bring A3 paper, color, and then when I join the meeting, I will give to each one set of the interviewer. And then at the end of the interview, I will collect back. And then when they ask, can they keep it? I say that, sorry, you have to hire me, then I can help you. Because most of the time, if they keep it, I think end up they will do it by themselves without my name. So next one, let's move on. So this is also, Financial is the company under ABSS. So again, weakness, improvement, and also some, because I know that I'm gonna talk to the CEO, I talk for pricing, I suggest that there's a pre-tier, middle tier, and also premium tier, and there's a finance tracker for B2C. And this is the 3 to 5 years. Basically, we really want to showcase that, hey, I know that I'm new, but I understand the space, I understand the industry. So, okay. I think before we move on, I just want to highlight that after the interview, the CEO asked me how much do you want. I said 10K, and then we agree. But with the HR, we have to, I think it's not just win-lose, right? I mean, if we get what we want, but the other party feel like it's affecting the KPI, for example, this is something not sustainable. So I meet them in the middle because I understand that for HR, because when they use a headhunter, they have to give 1 month salary as a reward. So we put the offer letter as 9K, but in the offer letter I request that, okay, after probation, make sure that it's written that we revise again to 9.5. So I think we have to somewhere always try to meet in the middle. So let's move on to the next one. So sometimes you need luck. So this is for when I joined SIPA. I believe at this moment, because it's almost 9, so I think it's good that we maintain the networking. Right? You keep the contact alive, and they know that you are not rude. You just make a business decision, and when they have a good position open, then they reach out again to me. So I'll explain to you what it means by luck. So when I with ABSS or financial, 9.5K, I was quite happy, to be honest. And then when they approached me, I believe the first interview, I tell them the expected salary was 11K, whatever, right? 11K. And then they call again, and then they say that, sorry, what do you call it? The HR that asked you already left us. So how much did you tell your expected salary? I was so pissed off. I was just like, man, 13K, man, 13K. I just like, whatever. And then suddenly, but fortunately, this lady said that, okay, 13K, and we have 1.6 allowance, so that's 14.6K. It should be okay, right? Dude, of course. Sometimes you have, when you have a stable job, this is the time when you want to ask for more. Yeah, because most of the time you don't get the salary that you deserve, but you get the salary that you negotiated. Okay, so yeah, quite a lot of jump here, and yeah, so here this is not me, and this is not the question they asked, but this is the question that I asked my manager when I got the new offer from the next company. Actually, a lot of tech bros ask me when they get an offer, like, how do I break this news to my boss, right? For me, it's always, we bring the offer letter. You ask that, hey, I value your opinion. I see you as my mentor, a friend. But so I get this offer letter, right? So what would you do if you are in my position? Usually, this will help them to sympathy with you, and at the same time, you can gauge that if he say that, oh, you should go, meaning that they have no budget, but if they say that, oh, this is too high for us, you can always say that, hey, I know that's too much, but I really love our current setup, current team. So maybe we can meet in the middle, so, and make both party happy. But fortunately, this never happened, so I always left. So, sorry. We try. Sorry. It's a business decision. I think this is, previous one. This is also when my feedback that I get from my manager was, Hisham, you are too emotional when you make a decision. So I start to make a business decision. I'm thinking about, hey, I'm my own business. My biggest stakeholder is myself, and I'm responsible to my family, right, to own the most or earn, make the most money. So that really shift my perspective and help me to always think about dollar and cents and in a more calculated way. So let's move on to the next one. So this is Xsolla. Actually, a lot of risks joining this company because online review says a lot of bad things about them, and then when they come to Malaysia, I'm the ninth employee, so taking a lot of risk. But I'm guessing this is the same guy that pulled me in is the guy that left the previous company that made me get the jump from 11 to 14K, right? So I believe that this guy is my lucky token. So I'm gonna just take my chance. And at the same time, I talked to my wife that, hey, this is above the market rate. We should be ready whenever there's a correction, right? So basically I tell my wife that this is not sustainable, but we are grateful while it lasts and we'll make the most of it. So I got the quite difficult question during the interview, and I take 1 week just to complete it. And this is the question. They basically list down their internet problem and wanted me to solve them. And yeah, so 57% jump. So I'll show you what the problem is. Just a preview. I'll move on to the next one. Okay. So you can see I'll just walk you through a bit. So there's a problem again, problem, solution, solution. Again, problem, solution. You always try to empathize, and you need to understand that all these big decision makers, they are quite busy, right? I know that this is quite over the top, but I imagine that they getting tired seeing all these lame ass presentations. I just wanted to go all out and go crazy with this. So hence the go and feel like this. So let's move on to the next one. So this is again basic question. Basic problem. But you can see how I try to impress them on the next slide. Next slide, please. So you can see when I present this, because I need to send a recording. So it does give a lot of good impression because it's hard for me to explain how does that will look like. So I did is I screen capture. I believe a Reddit apps for this. I just open the phone, screenshot, live recording the screen capture and turn it into GIF, and I put it behind the screen actually. Yeah. So I guess it works because I do get the job. And let's move on to the next one. And yeah, so what I wanted to also disclose here is People will argue, right? High salary, you are more prone to getting fired. I think you're right, and I wanted to share because this is a personal thing for me. Since 1 week before this year, March, Xsolla fired me, laid off me. But I wanted to share the full picture because in January they already fired half of the HR team. That time I already start to feel like okay, you work after 10 years, you have this kind of feel, and I start to reduce my expenses. And in February they fired the whole cloud team, and then in March, 1 week before they asked me, they fired me first, give me the package, and then they asked me, "You want to join another team?" I was like, "Shouldn't the sequence be, offer you want to join another team, then you fire me, right?" So for me, if I choose another team, I could just be fired next month. So yeah, so that's why you always but for me it's okay because that's the reason why we negotiate hard, right, early on, because when you join, there's no reason for them to give increment. And then end up you can see in my team, the 10 people, 4 are getting fired. So imagine if you get paid underpaid and then still get fired. That's even worse. I mean, from my perspective. So yeah, this is what I do from the March onward. I just focus on learning how to write code, how to use all the AI tools. So I hope you guys, for example, dev or programmers can show your work because I see a lot of people reaching out to me and say that hey, I have this idea, right? But then they share me the GitHub branch or link repos, right? Man, normal people will not get any benefit from this. And the second one is always to networking, because when you just do on your own, you don't share, nobody know your value. So this is just coming from the homo crisis, correct? Yeah. So there's one right that in denial, meaning that people in the industry getting laid off, that you just deny, say that, oh, tech is good, oil and gas is good, I just want to keep here. And then when you get fired, you feel like very frustrated. Second one, I think, is quite, meaning you adapt faster. And then I think the third one is you spend time, not daily, but at least you always aware that you should improve yourself and yeah, be available in the market. Yeah. So let's move on to the last one. So this is the tough interview question that I have. So I think after this you can ask me or share what interview question that you have. But I think the most that I get from my close friend is how much is your expected salary? I think usually, of course, we want the most, right? But when you learn about the market, you will know the range. And unfortunately, you cannot just ask for that particular range because you are that years. They always have a caveat, basically, hey, share me your payslip, right? And we can only give you 20 or 30% max. So overseas, yes, you can decide not to share, but in Malaysia, most of the time they'll not give you the offer if you did not disclose your payslip. So what I learned is that's why from time to time, 2 or 3 years, or 3 to 4 years, you need to just change at least you get the increment. And so usually my answer would be right now I'm earning this much. What I like to do is I like to include my bonus. Basically, my answer would be I'm earning 10K average monthly on a monthly. When he asked me that, hey, that does not include your bonus, right? But I have to explain that. Does it make sense for me if last year I earning one whole year, for example, 120K, right? 120K including bonus, meaning that of course my basic is 8.3. That means total is only 100K, but I get 20K bonus. So my average is 10K, not 8.3K. So if you offer me less than that, meaning that I'm getting a pay cut, so it doesn't make sense from a business perspective. So that is always my argument. I'll say usually people join or jump by getting 20 or 30%, and then I elaborate a bit more. What I did is I'll say that, which is true. Whenever I change company, I will move closer because I always rent before. So I move closer to the office. That's one cost for me. Second is I'm taking chance with you. I'm taking a risk because I'm happy with my team right now. I'm not leaving anyway. So, but this is good offer. So I think if you can give me around 20, that should be the best. So usually we end up 15, 20, but I think at least still the lowest maybe 10%, right? But still it's good because when you stay, they only give you 3% per year. So that's meaning that if you move and get 10% increment, that will last you with the job market about 3 to 4 years if you stay the same company. And then the second one is what's your weakness? I think this is something okay. So what I mean by this question is just wanted to see if you are self-aware and if you know your own weakness. So usually what I do here, I will say that I'm quite impatient when I see the goal. I wanted to push my team because I want to make sure the project finish on time or earlier. But I say that now I understand that a lot of people have different contacts and different capabilities. So I try to hold myself back and make sure that as a team, move together. So this is something I try to improve. And while you're looking out, this can be anything except bitching about your current boss or team, because this is that's a very no-no. And always, like I shared earlier, you have to seek win and win. Only this is the only way that this is sustainable. So that's it from me, guys. If you have any question, maybe three question.
Questions for Hisham Kato? Angkat tangan. Any questions? Angkat tangan.
Sure.
Hello, I am Hafiz. So, I got a question. So, right now, how do you see yourself on the next 5 years? So, I want to see how you going to project from you right now until the next 5 years. What you going to be?
Sure. I think because right now don't have any job, right? But I'm doing consulting for Pakai Peter right now. Shout out to Odin over there. Odin, Azlan and Pakai Peter team, Arif, Fikri, Dan, thank you. So right now I'm doing consulting while searching for a more stable job with bigger organization. But I'll be frank that I'm just looking at the market rate, and because I wanted now, as I'm entering 40 years old, I'm looking for stability. So that is will be my answer. And of course, if I have time during the weekend, given the job stability, I would still doing probably some consulting or give a talk like this. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Harry.
Okay. Just now you share about your experience
Sure.
way off, right?
Uh,
I guess maybe you can. I just wondering what is your preparation in terms of um, getting yeah, definitely getting layoff is a very mental thing,
Sure.
challenging. So you accept the decision, right? How you prepare yourself facing that challenge of getting layoff in terms of
Mentally.
mentally, financially, maybe apa yang you boleh share lah.
Sure. I think one of the reason why I'm being transparent because I think this is the new norm for tech industry, and I think we should normalize saying that, hey, I'm looking for a job or I don't have a job right now. So at least people can help, right? Because sometimes, most of the time, people don't know that we are looking for a job. Early on, I did not turn on the LinkedIn, open for job, right? Because before I turn that on, there's a lot of offer, and then I turned that on, nobody reached out to me. So that's basically like saying that I'm desperate, don't reach out to me. So I think definitely that will be my suggestion is not to turn on that initially, but just reach out to your close friend because most of the time they know. Mentally, I think since January, I already prepared my mind, and I've been doing quite a lot of job searching because for me, my plan was when I get a job first, then go to my boss and say that, boss, hire me. I want to get three months, right? Hopefully, but that's not the case. But I think it positively, and then the first month was terrible because 1 week before I man, I was like I was numb. The first week was numb. I think the second week I was like while doing the handover to my team, I feel like anger a bit because I'm the I joined you quite early on. Why you do this to me? But after that, I start to realize that we have to deal with this the best way we can. So what I did is I negotiate the package. So I say to HR, this is my contribution. I believe I recommend 200 people to join Xsolla. Of course, end up there's only 5 people join. And then I list down all my contribution and I ask for, I want, I want 7 months. And then I was like, so we can only give you 3 months. That's the baseline. But I say that, I want 7 months. And of course, meet me in the middle. End up I'm getting 5 months. So I'm now on my fifth month. Of course, my runway is 10 months to 1 year. That's my saving. And then since January, I already start to reduce expenses, cut all the SB loan, for example. And then I even ready to sell my car because that's part of the, what do you call it, the contingency plan, correct? So it's quite hard. And even though be open with my wife about hey, I'm getting laid off, yada, yada, yada. But I think it doesn't help the partner or the family to show that we got it, right? So for me, it's like, okay, I'm doing Antler for 2 months and I do consulting. Did it so far. Like, so without job, I still feel happy to do product management.
Thank you very much. All right, once again, give it up for
Thank you.
Hisham.